outside of the hospital, right?
Okay. Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah? Okay, perfect. All right. Well, I'm super excited about our 10, 10, 10 tonight. We've got a really good lineup. So first we're going to start with a testimony from my beautiful friend, Sammi Stewart. She is not on our team. She's a Jewel friend, and we actually live in the same little town in southern Utah. Awesome little town. And so I'm really excited to let her share like some of her big wins with you. And then we're going to have Jonelle Hughes, who is, many of you know, she's got a brilliant mind for ingredients and all the things. She's a, I believe, I'm not, I'll let you explain your credentials, Jonelle, if you don't mind, because I might mess them up. But I believe it's an herbalist. And then she's going to be going over our new armor product in depth and teach us some new things. So be prepared to take notes for that. And then last but not least, our beautiful friend Gigi has had some great success lately with building her business in a very, very busy season of life. You want busy, you look at Gigi, and she is still making it work. So she's going to teach us some tips that have been working really well for her. So that'll be really great. So I'm just going to hand it over. I don't want to take any more time than I have to because I want to give it all to you three ladies. It's going to be so great. So take it away, Sammi. Thanks for being here.
Thanks, Whitney, for having me. I was writing down notes because it's been a long time since I've shared my quick. I started Plexus 6 years ago, and I started because I was dealing with inflammation. I had actually been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis, and I didn't know anything, but I knew that I was being told I needed to start a drug, and I did not want to start it. So in the parking lot of the second doctor that confirmed that I should start this drug, I was researching inflammation, and I learned about the tie to the gut. And I was like, okay, what am I going to do? And at the same time, my old friend, Christy Jex, moved onto my street, and I knew that she shared something about gut health. And so I asked her about it, and it was kind of a cute way that that came about because I was super resistant, like, I don't want your products. But then I finally asked her if she thought it could help me. And it was really fun because she had managed her Hashimoto's. So here I was, autoimmune brain going, what do I need? And this spoke to me. I thought I was only starting with for inflammation. I had no idea that there was anything else wrong with me because everything I was dealing with I thought was normal because everyone talks about it like it's normal. Like poor digestion or being tired or t-shirts that say surviving on Diet Coke and dry shampoo or whatever, like this idea that we should fill out garbage, right? So I would not have said anything else was wrong with me. I was like, just manage my inflammation. Well, what happened was my digestion became stellar overnight. It was like I went from like eliminating every other day to eliminating 3 times a day. It's amazing what that will do for how your belly feels, right? I started waking up feeling super rested. It was like my sleep became more productive. I was waking up and I was like, oh, let's go. I was waking up before my alarm. And then I was starting projects at 8 p.m. going, how do I have all this energy? Like I'm ending the day. And I wasn't doing anything with caffeine in it. It was simply the triplex X factor and ease. And I was like, I have so much energy. I want to get so much stuff done. My PMS went away. That was crazy because for me, my entire life, I've had 4 or 5 days leading up to my cycle that was like kind of awful. I was super irritable with my kids. I would lose my cool all the time. I just was on edge. I ended the night in a lavender bath. I hated those 4 days, but I always knew when my cycle was coming because those days let me know. They warned me. Well, 3 weeks in on the products, and I was surprised by my cycle one morning. And I was floored. I was like, this is wild. Like, I think this is affecting my hormones. Like, I kind of just took what Chrissy told me to take. I didn't really look into what I was taking, but I was seeing these results that were mind blowing. I stopped craving sugar. I did not realize I was craving sugar until I wasn't. I stopped eating the last of my kids' granola bar that was left on the counter. I didn't want it. I literally wasn't turning to it. I found myself wanting celery and almonds, and I was like, I think I need fiber. Like, celery gets stuck in my teeth. Why do I want celery? But I wanted it. Like, I thought about it. I thought about celery. That was weird. Let's see. Oh, I lost 12 pounds in the first 3 months. I wasn't in it for weight loss, but at the same time, I lost it right from my midsection because my body, I think that cortisol relaxation production, I just let go of that. That was amazing. And last but not least, 3 months in, my inflammation was under control. I reached for a water bottle and I opened it and I was like, I think hands are getting stronger. Most of my inflammation issues were in my hands and my toes. And it was like, my hands can turn this knob and not hurt. It was mind blowing. The results I can say have compounded over the years. And I've done other things. I've switched up my regimen here and there, but I feel like it's been completely managed. And I'm showing up as the best version of me. The crazy part to me now, when I think about my story, and I've never shared this in any public forum, but I've navigated probably the hardest 2 years of my life. My marriage of 22 years ended in December. And it's crazy to see that the 2 years prior to that, that level of stress, that level of overwhelm, that level of not eating or eating like crap or whatever was happening did not trigger inflammation flares. My gut being managed that for me through the most stressful season. And to me, that's my favorite part of my testimony at this point, because I'm like, that is the true test of products. If I can go through that, and because I'm taking ProBio 5, BioCleanse, and Pink Drink, my mood, my everything is managed, that's pretty incredible. So that's my plexus story.
Thank you. It's so beautiful, Sammi. And goodness, yes, you're such a prime example of like handling the hard things well. So you're in our prayers. We love you. Thank you so much. All right. Um, let's go ahead and hand it over then. Jonelle, you ready?
I am. Thank you,
Awesome.
Sammi. That was beautiful. I want to point out two things she said really quick. One, she used food as medicine. She started to crave it more once her gut was healthy. I love that. That is a natural reaction as you want good food. Number two, despite the horrific stress in her life of what she's going through, she still is protecting her body even despite it all because of the product she's taking. I loved those 2 points. Thank you, Sammi. Okay, so my expertise, I am a master herbalist, which means I'm a master of nothing. I just like to learn. So there is so much info out there about armor right now. There's Megan McClenny posted the most beautiful information the other day on the information page. I've read it like 10 times. That girl, whoever wrote it, speaks to my heart, all of the things on it. So I'm not going to regurgitate that. You guys have that info at your fingertips. I'm going to work in my area, my zone of genius, and I'm going to talk to you about the ingredients. Not so that you can sell with this information or talk people into taking it or tell them why they should take it. This is so that you can understand why this formula is so, so beautiful, why it is so wonderful, why it's working the way it is, so that you can understand it and have your own testimony, even if you don't have results yet or haven't tried it yet, that you can understand what's in it and why they might have put it there. So that's what I'm sharing today. It's not to go like, you don't have to know these ingredients. Most people don't care, but I do, and I like to share that angle of it. So that's what I'm going to share tonight. I'm going to set my timer because I could easily talk to you about this for a half an hour, and I'm going to make sure I just keep with my minutes. So, number one, when this was introduced at convention, I turned to the people around me and I said, if I were to create something like this, these are the top 4 ingredients I would have put in it, which are our top 4 ingredients. They're just known. Number one, acacia, licorice root, marshmallow root are known because they're mucilaginous. Big word, meaning basically they get wet and they form like a mucilaginous, like it's mucus around it. It's a natural thing. Think chia seeds, flax seeds, things like that. That mucilaginous texture that they form when they get wet is almost exactly like the lining of our intestines and our gut. So what that means is those herbs, chia seeds, flax seeds, things like that, they help with the lining of it because it matches that. And so it helps everything move along gently like it should. Um, so I'm going to share just a little bit about those 3. Acacia first is they used it medicinally historically in food, and it's also used medicinally to soothe irritated areas of the digestive tract. So think irritable bowel, any issue, Crohn's disease, diverticulitis, things like that. That's one of the number one things that's used for it. It is effective on softening the irritation of the stomach and throat. It's also effective to soften the harshness of pills when used as a coating over bitter or difficult to digest medicine. And it is, as a mucilage, it acts as, let's see, sorry, I jumped ahead of myself. It soothes protective coats on the respiratory, gastrointestinal, and urinary linings. So it's good for your throat, it's good for your intestines, it's good for your urinary tract. So when you talk about Armor as a whole, we think of gut health because we're in a gut health company. This is a whole body formula, top of the head, bottom of the feet. It's good. Everything in it is good for your skin. It's good for all those systems. So think of it as a whole rather than just the gut. It is a whole body formula. I've gotten the question quite a bit. Is it standalone? Absolutely standalone. Do you want full gut health and gut healing? You need to add in the gut health system at some point. Is it going to help people on its own? Absolutely. I would be floored to think that people taking it over a certain amount of time wouldn't notice something different because of its whole body effect. So I love that about it too. Um, its main goal is to form a protective, soothing coating for inflammation. So it's an anti-inflammatory. Okay, that's acacia. And then we have licorice root. Licorice root is used for many purposes. Alone, it is very soothing to the throat. Notice this too. Now we have two things that are soothing for the throat. That is very interesting to me. Okay. Because when you think of the lining of the throat and the esophagus and the stomach, it's similar to the intestines. It's mucilaginous. It helps things move along. So of course it's going to affect the same things. Um, it's good for the bronchioles, respiratory system in general. It is second to none for quieting a cough. It helps to quench thirst and lubricate a parched throat. It is healing to any inflammation or raw mucous membrane because of its ability to loosen phlegm. It covers the area with a protective coating and to supply many nutrients to aid in healing. It contains vitamins E, B, complex biotin, niacin, and pantothenic acid. It also has lecithin, manganese, phosphorus, iodine, chromium, and zinc. Licorice root is a mineral powerhouse. Okay. Now we have marshmallow root. Marshmallow has been used to help the kidneys and the urinary system as well as the lungs. Third thing that's good for the lungs. Bronchioles and respiratory system. It is one of the main herbs in most cough, sore throat, and I don't even know that word, and is excellent for nursing mothers. So I loved that. So here we have the bronchioles, the urinary tract, the gut, all three. But again, you're dealing with all body systems here. So let me see where I'm at. See, those were the top three I wanted to talk about. And if I had time, I would go into the others. Okay, I know this is like a fire hose of like herbal fire hose, but just bask in it. So then any health issue that you have is going to put a strain on your heart. Okay. So all herbs are good for the heart, but any health issue you have a thyroid issue, your heart is going to be strained. You have any issue that you have, the heart is going to have a harder time working. Okay. Your blood, all of the systems. So, that's where we get into the Japanese pagoda tree, which is it's the fifth ingredient, I believe. It has quercetin, which is for inflammation and heart health. It also strengthens the capillaries. One of the biggest issues that we are seeing in today's world is capillary breakdown. It's not just an obesity issue anymore. We're finding thin people that are having like broken capillaries and things like that in their legs. They're having circulatory issues in their legs, and it all is cycling of that blood back up to their heart. So I love seeing that we have great herbs in here and supplements in here that are protecting our heart health. That's why when I say it's from the top of your head to the bottom of your body, it's a whole health system. This is what Armor is. Okay, and then we have Naringinin, which is from the pomelo fruit. If you've ever seen that, it looks like a really big grapefruit, but it's kind of lighter in color. Heart health and cholesterol, number one use. I love it. Strengthens blood and also, hello, my friends, menopause symptoms. Let's all just give a clap for that. So I love that that's in there too. Then we have L-glutamine, gut health, muscle recovery. immune function. So you could even say you could take this after a workout and it's going to help muscle recovery. Because of all the things in it, it will. So there's different ways you can market it because everything in here is going to help something. Again, you don't have to know all the details of it. Everything in there is going to help something. And then we have it strengthens your GLP-2 production, the hormone that drives intestinal cell regeneration. So the number one thing is it does is cell regeneration. How have we talked about gut health and plexus for years? It regenerates your cells. It builds back your cells. All of those things, that's just another thing that it does. Then colostrum, A2 protein. I'm not going to even go into what A2 protein is. Just Google it. You can read it. It's very interesting. Basically, it means that humans can digest that protein better. The A1 protein that has morphed over time into milk, originally it wasn't there, is what's causing people to have lactose intolerance. Okay. So A2 protein from colostrum, it's from the second or third milk after a baby calf is born. They don't steal it from the calf. It's extra milk. Cows produce lots of milk. They call it golden milk. It helps with metabolism. It repairs the stomach lining and it keeps intestinal barrier strong. So we're talking about leaky gut, Crohn's, all of those things. Okay. It has peptides, proteins, trace minerals and vitamins, hydration, skin resilience. So back in my day when I was a doula and I had moms after they had babies and some of them weren't sure about nursing, I'm like, just give the baby your colostrum, the first milk, because it is so full of so many good things. And that's what we're getting from the A2. Okay. And then I'm just going to read this little part from that excerpt of what Megan posted, which go read it. It is such a good post. And she talks about why it's a heat lactobacillus, why it's heated. And basically, it's because it's broken down. So even people with the most severe health issues can take it and it's not going to cause maybe die off like ProBio 5 does. Is there a place for ProBio 5? Always, but some people aren't ready for that yet. Some people are so struggling with their gut health and their health in general that it's going to be very difficult for them to start to take anything. So this is for the beginner. This is for a person in maybe the worst state. If they could even just start on this first, if they could just take this for a month or two even, and then add in those things, that would be my recommendation. So you know how you build up on ProBio 5? They might need to even build up on this. It's called microdosing. They might not be able to take a full scoop at first. Monitor their symptoms and things like that. That might even throw them into too much detox. So they can start with a fourth of a scoop and build up. That's what I had to do with Restore. So think about it in microdosing ways. If they can't handle a full scoop, have them start really slow. Okay. And then she talks about how she takes it first thing in the morning in plain water on an empty stomach for 3 months. That's what she did. She says, why an empty stomach? Because the colostrum, the glutamine, and the mucosal coating ingredients need direct contact with the gut lining. If you mix it into food or a shake, everything gets diluted and bound up with other compounds instead of reaching the gut wall. I really like that, and that makes sense to me because you can put it in anything. That's what they said, right? You can mix it with anything. Some people are dry scooping it. I actually really like that alternative because it's a way to get it in, but it has that direct contact with the lining rather than being diluted with other things. That makes sense to me. However, if people can't remember that, just get it in them anyhow, anyway. So there is my fire hose and I am done. I actually have to hop off. So if you guys have questions, you can message me on Facebook or Instagram. And thank you for being here. And it was really fun. And I know that that was a lot of info, but thanks for sharing. I'm
Thank
going to check the messages here and then I'll try and answer those in some way.
Awesome. Thank you. I was going to say you've got quite a few questions in the chat, Jonelle.
Okay.
So if you yeah, if you have a way to address them to us later, that would be amazing. We're so grateful. Thank you. That was amazing.
Thank you. I will take a picture and I will answer those in our
Thank
group.
you.
Okay.
Awesome. We appreciate that.
No problem.
Okay,
Bye.
Gigi. It is all yours, friend.
Hey everyone.
Take us to school.
I'm in my garage and I've got a fly that's bothering me. So if you see me swatting myself, there's a fly here that's really getting on my nerves. So today we're just talking about the basics, you guys, getting back to the basics because posting regularly, that's our marketing, and growing our audience is so important. 10 years I've been working this, and for 10 years it's been really joyful. I mean, seriously joyful. And why? Because I'm not getting sleazy. I'm not slamming plexes all day long on my posts. I've got great interaction going, and my audience continues to grow. So that makes it fun. I don't feel like I'm haunting and hunting people down to grow my business. I haven't grown in a huge way, but I am a senior gold ambassador and I'm able to hold that business. And you have no idea the amount of stress that's going on in my life right now. I don't like to share about everything publicly, but I am a caregiver for my mother who has dementia. And if any of you have ever dealt with that, it's a whole new challenge. But the truth is, my business has been consistent. And if you want to grow in a big way, you're going to have to do a whole lot more than what I'm talking about today. Okay. But if you don't have this foundation in place, you're not going to grow your business. We're here because we want to grow it, right? I think everybody here are at least curious about it. We need to let the world know we are open for business. That is the absolute first thing. We need to be posting. We are responsible for our advertisement, our marketing, and it's not just the products, but you are marketing yourself, your brand. And I remember Whitney telling me about that 10 years ago, 9 years ago, and I didn't quite understand it. And I did used to post in a sleazy way because I just kept throwing advertisements out there and I wasn't, getting a lot of responses back. But then I learned people aren't interested in those advertisements. They're curious about me. They want to know what's going on in my life. And when I start to share the things that I'm passionate about, and it doesn't have to be health. For some people, it's, their kids but it has to be somehow we kind of bring the two things together. So, where was I? Be your brand. So that's, you have to discover what it is. And if you just think about the things that you're passionate about and that you love, Carol, I know, likes to post about cooking sometimes, and she's great at jokes. That's her brand. She is so fun to follow. So pay attention to those people and think about what's special about you. Wouldn't it be fun if people were attracted to you and they got curious enough to ask you about that testimony that you posted about the other day? You guys, I have that going on. People contact me. Carol, do you experience that? I mean, people all of a sudden reach out to you. You don't have to be reaching out all the time. They actually come to you. And when they come to you, it is so much easier to sell them on a combo. So much easier because they came and they were curious and now they're asking you. So what do we need to do? We got to be posting regularly. It doesn't have to be 3 times a day. If you look at my page, I do not post even plexus every day. I don't. But I do post genuinely me. And that's what I'm going to say for you. Megan, you're really good at posting too. I always see your heart and feel your heart in your posts. Posting a personal fun post is really, really important. Sharing your own personal photos, super important. Our friends want to see us. They want to know more about us. And in between all of that, we include our health tips. In between all of that, we include those plexus posts. They can be about the business, about the product, about a current sale, about a recipe, something health related. If your thing is right now, if it's perimenopause or menopause, maybe that's going to be part of your brand for right now because that's what you're experiencing. And make sure then that your posts throughout the week have something to do with that. It doesn't always have to be plexus. the most important thing or the most valuable, I think, of all the different types of posts that we can do is testimonies. You guys posting testimonies, because everybody's heard this, stories sell. All right. So I suggest 1 to 2 testimonies a week, post a product or a health tip, post a personal experience, a story relating to you. Like I said, today I was out there running. I knew I needed to drink my hydrate, and I needed to have some active because it's a little humid today in Arizona. So not only 100+ degrees, but humid. So that, I made sure to take a picture before I went for my run. I'm drinking my hydrate and I'm thinking, okay, that's going to be a future post because that is personal and it's me. So you post your life, you share the good, share the challenging when it's appropriate, the things that are challenging you. I have found that I'm attracted to people that do share their vulnerable posts, but that doesn't mean we have to talk about all the ugly in our lives. Okay. I mean, we all have something that can be personal and private to us. But the more positive that you are, you want to be attracting people to you. And you'll find that just when you're genuinely you, they're going to start following you. I noticed the other day I wanted to post for attraction posts. Okay, that's the last thing. Post an attraction post. What's an attraction post? You guys, an attraction post is a way to get interaction with others. And I find that the most valuable, the most interaction that I get isn't from those generic attraction posts that I've seen before, about, I don't know it. Anyway, my most most effective attraction posts are genuine questions. Here's that fly again, sorry. Anyway, plates. I was looking for dishes the other day and I really sincerely wasn't sure between these 2 sets of dishes. So I posted and asked people's opinion. You guys, I got over 100 comments on that. All right. So what happens now that I've posted a personal post, I've gotten a bunch of interaction from it. Next is going to be in a day or 2. I'm going to post something really powerful about plexus, and it's either going to be about the Facebook challenge we have going on, or a sale that we have going on, or a testimony that I feel that's powerful. Okay. More people are going to see that because more people saw that other post that attracted more people to my page. So that's pretty simple information. But I'm just going to go through here, see my notes to make sure I'm not missing something. So posting's vital. Being consistent is key, but it's never, ever, ever going to be effective unless it's seen by a lot of people. You have to grow your audience. If you are sharing those posts with the same 200 people every single month, you're not going to grow your business. And those people are going to get tired of seeing you or hearing from you. So you've got to grow your business. And this is where I think with Whitney's permission, I might ask that next week, perhaps I can chat a little bit more about it, because I'd like to get a little bit deeper into how to grow your audience. I think it's huge. Just to give you a couple of little sneak peeks though, suggested friends. You see that line of suggested friends every day on your Facebook page? You guys, have you ever just clicked it and you weren't sure that you knew that person? I do that, but I do it a little bit more intentionally. I will look at their profile. Those suggested friends are there because there's something in common with them and me. So I'll look at their profile and I'll see, oh, that person always posts something positive. Oh, they live in my same town. Or, oh, they're a runner too. I will blindly send them a friend request. And I do this every day or at least weekly. Okay. I have never, they have a choice. They can accept the friendship or not. I've never been questioned in a negative way when I've done that. So that's one way, but I've got about another half a dozen ideas for you guys on how to grow your audience. And I really want to expand on that. So Whitney, with your permission, can we do that perhaps next week?
I would love that. I'm sure everyone would agree.
Okay. All right.
Great
Because I
stuff,
really
Gigi.
feel,
We'd love to hear
yeah.
more.
Okay. Wonderful. That's what I'd like to do. Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you, Gigi. That was great. All right. We are filled with great info on armor, deeper conviction for what we have is what people need and that it's life changing. I loved Sammy's story, and Gigi, so many good reminders that, you know, the most effective things we do really aren't complicated, but it's just a matter of being consistent and being genuine. That's one thing I love so much about Gigi is if you know her, you know she is very genuine. And I know that that's one of the reasons that you're successful, even, you know, when you have a million other irons in the fire. Then you can consistently continue to have people come to you and trust you with their health and happiness. So great example. We love it. All right. Thanks everyone for being here. I'll post the replay in Wellness Warriors. You can catch that there, and Jonelle will answer those questions as well. And so that'll be great. Thanks for being here. Have a great week.